Yeah, film up. Welcome everyone to the Film Vault. That's Anderson. I'm Bryan. First for your hosts for today. Top 5 time. Top 5 movie theater scenes. Scenes that take place in or around a movie theater. That was my only criteria.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward.
It was right there at the time.
Kind of meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't done this.
Did not realize just how meat and potatoes it would be until doing the research. It's like, wow, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of times there's not much
long list of also rans.
Not much going on in a lot of them. Right?
True. A lot, actually, there were a lot of scenes, not a lot that were contenders for my top 5.
Not a lot of compelling scenes, right? A lot of the time it's just like, this is what people do, so we're going to show these people doing this thing that people do.
Yeah, or it sets up something that happens after, you know what I mean? Like this, Dillinger, I guess, is a good example.
Dillinger.
The Johnny Depp movie, Michael Mann.
Okay.
Anyway, he sees a movie, then he's, spoiler shot.
Yeah, Bryan, come on.
It's a historical fact.
There's that Abe Lincoln movie, too. Goes to the theater.
I only went with movie theaters. I didn't do other theaters.
I went movie theaters. Oh, yeah. For the most part.
Well,
This list was inspired by a recent viewing of a movie that I caught up with just a few weeks ago.
what's that?
I'll get to it. It's on the list.
Oh.
Right? While watching this unnamed movie, I was thinking this might be my favorite one of these scenes I've ever seen. And turns out it's not. It's up there on my list. Made the top 5, but it's not my favorite thing. I love when this happens. When you do the research for these kinds of topics, you have no idea where they're going to end up sometime. And I have my number 1 is from a movie I have very little recollection of.
Really?
There were sequels that I did not see.
My number 5 is like that.
Did not even enjoy it that much.
Same.
The movie itself.
Same.
But I did love this scene. I remember loving it at the time while seeing this in the theater. And it was, I mean, it's kind of a clear-cut favorite for me.
There's a big drop off between my 2 and 3. Like my top 2 are just all-time great scenes.
You got clips?
No.
Oh, I got a clip from my number 1, the one that I just buttered up. And
You got to send that to me.
I can't play it.
Why not?
All right, I'll send it to you.
Wait, how do you have a clip you can't play?
No, I'm saying like I can play it
I
myself.
can't play it.
Oh, you're going to play it yourself.
No, I'll just send it to you. It'll simplify things. I can't handle my clips. But I left off a very obvious one that's very good. I'm assuming it's going to be on your list because I was running a little thin and like I could have easily done a top 10 that was worthy.
Oh.
So I'll leave that for you. Actually,
Not so much for me.
Oh, really? Interesting. We'll do all.
I'm thinking we might have 0 crossover.
I don't know. Like, it sounds like your number 5 is my number 1.
No, that's impossible.
All right. What do we do?
No, it's not impossible, but you've never brought this movie up.
I know.
Maybe it should.
Hey, just a reminder.
Maybe it is.
Next week, our top 5 will be from Better Bryan. That's Bryan McCulley. And he is bringing us, he's mandating that we do top 5 irresponsible gun handling scenes. Which
I already got number 1.
There are a number of, and I think it's from a confusing movie you speak of. So, let's...
To be fair, most movies are confusing to me.
To you, yes. All right, let's launch, Bryan.
Well, I don't want to step on your number 1 if it's my number 5.
We just won't, and I'm coming in with a clip, so
true.
We'll bring in a clip later in the program.
It can't be your number 1 because it doesn't lend itself to a clip.
Oh, well, then it can't be because this is... I could have made 4 or 5 clips out of this.
Okay.
I really could have.
Definitely not.
All right.
Number 5 for me, a movie I didn't love, but this scene has always stuck with me. Sadly, did not see this in the theater. Wish I had, because it would have been a lot of fun to see Outbreak from 1995 in the theater. Wolfgang Petersen's Outbreak, when Henry, a lab technician, he accidentally gets infected by the virus. The virus is the main character of the movie. Let's face it. He irresponsibly goes to a crowded movie theater that night after getting infected, after infecting himself.
Right.
He drops a vial and it bursts and he inhales it, and he's not doing well, Henry. He's coughing, he's hacking, he's not covering his mouth, which is very rude. And he's just coughing out into the world, and we see the little particulates, the little spittle just float through the air. And it's a funny movie, so people are laughing, and they're inhaling as droplets.
Now, Outbreak is not a funny movie, but the movie that he's watching in Outbreak is funny.
Yes, the movie that is being shown in the theater in this scene is making people laugh. And they're laughing with their mouths open, and they're inhaling his infected
Spittle.
droplets.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Exciting incident.
I think he dies in the lobby of the movie theater after that. Yeah.
I did not like this movie.
It's not good.
I really hate it for personal reasons
Oh,
because a girl who I was quite fond of, we broke up, and within a couple weeks, I caught wind that she was seeing a new guy. Hans was his name, if you must know. And
Isn't it insulting
The
when it's a
monkey
hon?
from Contagion.
I still had some friends who same circle, so they're like, "Oh yeah, she's out with Hans. They're at a movie right now." I'm like, "What movie?"
Must know.
Outbreak. And I'll never forget. And I'm gonna hate that movie forever. Imagining the love of my life and Hans enjoying spittle takes.
Not a good date movie.
No.
That's the one good, the saving grace is like I hope she was uncomfortable like
Hope she
with any kind of
didn't enjoy
spittle
herself.
being transferred. Yeah,
Right.
you know what? Yeah, they're in a theater watching together. They're probably both nervous. Hans and my girlfriend or my ex-girlfriend.
Fucking Hans.
We broke up. We were very adult about it because she was about to go away to college, and we're like, this isn't gonna last, so let's stop now before we both get hurt.
Wow, it was very mature of you.
I was already way too in though.
It was way too deep.
Yeah. All right, here we go. She ended up marrying my old best friend and having kids, and now they're divorced. And she's very sad from what I hear.
I'm sad for everyone involved.
So am I, to be honest.
All right, what is the number 5 for you?
Number 5 for me. Sorry for all the...
That's quite the digression.
It was uplifting.
Did not need to do any of that. You know what is uplifting is watching some little new to the world tykes experience Snow White for the first time ever. And that's what you get to enjoy when watching Gremlins. 1984's Gremlins. There is a lengthy scene where all of the Gremlins that have been produced to this point of the film go to the local Cineplex, movie theater, and take in Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, and they're enjoying it.
They really are.
When it first pops up on the screen, they do that thing where they're all fucking around and being punks in the audience until the picture pops up, and they're all like,
They're wrapped.
yeah, there's a hush over the head. Many unexplained events occur in this scene, namely their ability to. Throughout this entire movie, there's a lot of stuff. The fact that they come out just speaking English is a bit of a head scratcher.
It's odd.
Unless they get it from Gizmo himself. Maybe there's some DNA like with.
Oh, true.
Perhaps that's the way that species. There's a cartoon coming out,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How nice.
Mugwai.
Oh,
And Gremlins 3 is in the works as well. Oh, good
lucky,
times.
Lucky us.
Good times ahead. I'm fucking way lucky. Yes. So, anyways, the fact that they could thread the projector really baffles me.
Yeah,
this day.
that's dexterity I didn't anticipate they would have.
They didn't do a great job. They got a little tangled there in the in some of the spokes and whatnot and the reels. But yeah, this is it's the climax of the movie, really, too. So Gremlins, them watching Snow White and Gremlins.
Forgotten about that. Thanks. Number 4 for me.
Dexterity. Not anticipate.
Dexterity I didn't know they possessed. Speaking of dexterity, Mickey Rourke pulls off the popcorn trick.
Come on now.
And number 4 for me, Diner. 1982's Diner, directed by Barry Levinson. Yes, the old popcorn trick. So it's a packed screening of packed showing, I should say, of a summer place. And Boogie, played by Mickey Rourke, he tricks Carol Heathrow into grabbing his own penis.
Touching his ween.
Yeah, touching
Get
his
salt
wiener.
and butter in there. That could hurt.
I was gonna say, I can't imagine that enjoyable.
Plus, the way that they had it positioned in the frame, and where it would land in the top of the popcorn, because the popcorn was still full. You'd have to imagine that he's well endowed. Which I wonder if that was a Mickey Rourke demand.
Oh, interesting. Because it would displace a lot of popcorn.
Also, like she just reached the top of that tub and she was, making contact there. And he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
So that's like the water's cold and deep.
Yeah, I would think that it would be deeper into that bucket. She would have to, plunge to. Anyways,
Speaking of plunge, he plunged his wiener through the bottom of the popcorn box and into Carol Heathrow's hand.
weird move too, because like he's got to. Maybe he's just that attracted to her that he can just be thinking about her because he's sitting next to her. But you got to get yourself going.
As a young man.
He's still Mickey Rourke. He doesn't look that young ever. And then you have the whole pre-cut.
He lived a tough 22 years.
He did.
To that point.
All right. So I remember seeing a porn when I was a kid in Pizza Box. Same thing.
Oh, really?
Didn't like.
The wiener was in the pizza box?
Yeah, they opened it up and it was like coming out.
Oh,
the
that's
pizza.
fun.
I didn't like
Yes, all of his friends. Actually, you know how we're due to do another one, by the way. Lines we quote most often. This is not a line, but Mickey Rourke's. He looks over and sees his friends watching him because they know what he's about to do, and he goes like this. He's like, "I do that all the time,
Yeah,
Just
you
big
do
smile.
that's gonna be one of your quotes, perhaps.
Yeah, big smile.
And you got it from that, or you just got it from Mickey Rourke in general?
No,
or you got it from the popcorn bit?
From that scene.
Oh, so you think about putting your dick in popcorn
No, it's really more with the
buckets.
smile.
I would imagine every time you do that smile, it's like right after thinking about how great it would be to put your penis in a popcorn tub. You're giving me the smile right now. I don't like it. It's making me uncomfortable.
All right, number 4 for you.
Number 4 for me. Let's not skip over any of mine, especially when I got a classic here, and that's when Clarence meets Alabama. It's a fantastic scene in True Romance, 1993's True Romance, and I'd be a fool not to have that on my list.
Isn't he seeing like some old kung fu flicks?
He's watching a kung fu movie, which if I was a kung fu guy, I would know what it is. I'm sure the Tarantino does.
That would
he
mean a
wrote
lot to you.
But yeah, and he's kind of describing what's going on the screen, and she's taking a keen interest in this lonely fella that's just watching a movie by himself on his birthday.
That's right.
And you don't know it as the viewer at the time, but she's sent there. She was paid for and delivered for as a birthday present. But you think, oh, look at this, a happy, happenstance.
A meet cute.
Yeah, meet cute. Yeah, she spills popcorn all over him, and she's just adorable. It's Patricia Arquette, peak Patricia Arquette, and it's just a great scene. And then they go out for pie afterwards, and there's some fun little wordplay with the word pie and having pie after a movie and all that. And yeah, it's a great scene and another inciting incident because it sets them up for the couple that drives the rest of the movie.
That's right. Clarence meets Alabama.
Clarence meets Alabama. I should also mention, I always do this, which is list my top 5 to 1, and in this case, lists that lend themselves to it. I also link the scenes on YouTube so like Gremlins watch Snow White, and that's a hot link to the actual YouTube clip if you would like to watch along, and then Gremlins links back to our Amazon page. And then Clarence Meets Alabama, I got that link linked to the show notes. So if you're on Patreon, you can look for those notes down there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Number 3 for me.
And then when Bryan feels like it, he will send Avery his list, but it's not in the right order, and there's no links.
Yeah, it'll be down. It'll be quite a ways.
What was your number 4, by the way?
Number 4 was Diner.
Because someone's currently trying to steal my credit card, so it's slightly.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
So I'll deal with that at the break.
The worst.
They're like, are you trying to spend $69.97 at Forever 21? No, I'm not.
There's going to be another one, too, like right around the corner. They always try to.
Oh, yeah, they already tried it twice. They're like, we're shutting down your card because I don't think you're trying to buy lingerie and sweaters right now while you're doing the film vault.
Maybe.
That might be.
It's even scarier that they know that that's not you because like they're monitoring everything you buy so closely.
Yeah. This is not your buying habits.
Yeah, this is not your buying habits. Yeah, I don't like that.
Don't like it.
Maybe you got a new broad I'm trying to spoil. How dare you, Wells Fargo?
Maybe you have a girl in your life?
How dare you?
A young girl.
I was shopping for bikini bottoms just today.
This needs some unpacking.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. What was your number 4?
Diner.
Diner.
All right, what's your number 3?
Credit card scene.
What's your number?
Number 3 for me is
Dude,
a
we're
film.
racing through this at record speed.
That's all right. We got lots.
It's good. My financial future's in jeopardy.
Number 3 for me is a movie I'm pretty sure I assigned to you, and
Just Friends. I don't remember the movie.
No, how dare you? I love
It's
it.
a music doc, and they go to a movie theater.
You can imagine. It's a movie I love, and I wish you would like it as much as me. And it comes at the end, so I'm not going to say too much about it. But it's from Bowfinger, 1999's Bowfinger, directed by Frank Oz, written by and starring Steve Martin. Did I say this to you? With Eddie Murphy?
Man.
Oh, jeez, so sad. So the whole idea of the film is they're making a movie, this schlocky, bizarre alien invasion movie called Chubby Rain, and it's very bad. But they make their movie, and comically, the writer, director, and co-editor co-star of Chubby Rain, when it actually gets released in the film, are seated in the very front row, and Steve Martin, who is just so relentlessly upbeat. He's the ultimate can-do movie producer guy, and he looks over at Jamie Kennedy, who's the screenwriter, and he says, "Yeah, pretty good seats. Pretty good seats." Anyway, and they watch the movie. They're right there. You ever watch a movie in the front row?
No. Yeah. When I was a kid.
Yeah, it's the worst.
The front, like far right or far left.
Yes.
Yes. Every now and again, back in the day, you'd have to do that. Like that was the only way. The worst. And guys, for the younger people listening right now, Bryan, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like, the theaters are way different now too. Like you could sit in that seat, front row, far right, far left, It's not going to be great, but it's not going to be anything like what
Yes.
Bryan and I are talking about right now.
Yeah, it was just neck breaking, looking straight up at the screen.
Like if you put your legs out in front of you, you would touch the screen. You were that close.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was really bad. They did
Bad
not
news.
give a fuck. Right?
And people were in them all the time.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Yes, I actually walked out. I walked out of. I had some good friends who invited me to
That's
the.
not true. We all know this.
I had some friends. I had some people I knew who invited me to the premiere of Hail Caesar, and it turns out our seats were in the front row,
Tight.
like all the way to the right. And when the movie's about to start, I'm like, "Hey, I love you guys. Thank you for the invitation. I can't do this." I got up and I left. I can't watch a fucking 2-hour movie in the front row. I'm a grown ass man.
You send food back, don't you?
Really, really rarely. I hardly ever send food back.
This is kind of the equivalent. I don't think I'd have the balls if somebody invited me and I showed
I
up.
know.
I don't know if I'd have
I
the
felt
balls to
bad.
do that.
I was overly apologetic. I'm like, hey, love you guys. This is so thoughtful. Thank you.
This is pre-treatment, though, isn't it?
Oh, no. Hail Caesar was like 6 years ago.
No.
7 years ago.
No. I'd say like 2009. I don't know. Okay,
I'm not
if
good.
it's post diagnosis, you're off the hook.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
goodness. Pretty sure it was. But anyway, Bowfinger. So the thing I like about this scene is that the.
Oh my God, you're right. I'm sorry. It was 2016.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As this schlocky B movie is screening for the audience, the movie actually has this very sweet moment where like it shows all the people from who made the movie, the actors, the behind the scenes people, and they're watching lovingly as this not good movie is like the fruits of their labors on the screen. But they're like, yeah, we did that, and it's a shockingly sweet moment for an otherwise very silly comedy. So I enjoyed that scene.
And it moved you.
Not to tears, but I did have some affection for that scene.
A moving scene that I had forgotten was actually in this otherwise unmoving movie by Lars von Trier. Just missed my list.
really?
But yeah, it was Dancer in the Dark. There's a very sweet scene where
Bjork's losing her hearing.
she can't see too well, and her friend is,
I was going blind. I thought she was
Yeah.
going deaf.
and she'd be so lucky. That shrieking that goes on in that movie. I joke. No, but like her friends letting her know like what the dancing feels like with like her little fingers on her hand. It was very touching. Very
Nice.
touching. But it's not on my list, so I should not be talking
All
about
right.
it. No
Skip
place
it.
for it here. Skip it. Number 3 for me is the scene, if you can call it that, even though it takes up the entire third act of a movie that I just saw from 1968 that I absolutely loved, and that's Targets.
Oh, there's a movie theater scene.
Targets, and it's Boris Karloff versus Sniper Boys. The way that it's titled on the old YouTube, but Targets is way ahead of its time, and it's about a seemingly unassuming boy next door type who gets his hands on some firearms and sees what they do on human beings, and it's. When I talked about, did I talk about Targets on this program
did.
much? Yeah. So it's a response to what happened at Kent State, right? Yeah.
Texas.
Texas.
Kent State was there was a massacre, but it was the military.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. It was the other way around. But it was kind of like this new like phenomenon where like, oh my God, what if like regular citizens start picking people off and they just kind of they got a screw loose, and that's what Peter Bogdanovich was exploring with this very low budget independent film called Targets, 1968, which has a lot of parallels to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which took place in 1968. And it's about this devious younger generation doing very, very naughty things while an aging Hollywood star is living his life on the B story or A
Sure.
story. So it's cross-cut with those two storylines going, and ultimately they come together. And the third act, which is this sniper, sets up shop. He's running from the cops, and he sets up shop at a local drive-in theater. And he goes up on the scaffolding behind the screen, and you can only imagine what goes on from
Indeed.
there. So it was a very lengthy scene. Like I said, it's most all of the third act. It all takes place in this drive-in movie theater, and it was the scene, the movie that made me think, you know what other great movie theater scenes are out there. So that's what I landed on.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah, I was preparing for you to give me some shit about drive-ins not being a
What?
movie theater.
No,
I was prepared.
Technicality, but they're theatrically exhibiting films. So.
Yeah. And I actually even looked up the the definition of a theater, and it's like indoor or outdoor.
Oh, really?
Where they exhibit.
Oh, I'm
movies.
sorry I didn't give you shit. You could have come back.
I was prepared. I had it.
Yeah, you could have come
I
back.
had it cocked and loaded.
You could have clapped back.
I was behind my screen over here waiting for you.
You should have baited me like, hey, don't you have a problem with this?
All right, so that's it. I feel like I'm sorry. I'm having misgivings. I feel like I might have given too much away with Targets, but I mean, it's not that kind of movie. There are a lot of things that are unexpected, but you can kind of see where it ends, where it's gonna go. While you're I love this Targets. I really do. You still haven't seen it, have you, Avery?
Not yet.
No, either of us have.
Go in with low expectations because apparently I'm overselling it, but I really love this Targets. Okay.
Where can one access this film? 1968.
Just like greener grass instead.
Greener Grass is a solid recommend.
It was good.
And we had a good time before the show started here talking about Greener Grass with Avery. You didn't get a chance to talk about, what was it? Sorcerer, which you brought up and you saw recently.
Yeah, no, I brought that up on the show.
But yeah, we said we'll talk about it later in the show.
Oh, very good.
This might be the episode where we can talk a little bit more about Sorcerer, William freaking Sorcerer, if we have the time at the end.
I did William freaking Sorcerer. Like, who's that?
William Freakin's Sorcerer.
That makes sense.
The greatest white knuckle ride you can ever take with a movie.
No pun intended.
Is it punny?
It's a ride, a white knuckle ride. They ride vehicles.
Oh, there is a ride. Yeah, literally, that's what makes it a white knuckle ride.
That's right.
White knuckle ride. All right,
careful. Coming up next, we'll finish our top 5 list right after we talk Amazon. After this. Some of the things about smart home technology scare me. Like someone got a Ultra Lock U-Bolt Pro Wi-Fi smart lock, a deadbolt basically for their front door, I assume. I feel like I would be thwarted by that thing somehow. Somehow we'd go away for a week, the power would go out, or my phone
battery operated.
Yeah, my phone would exactly. The battery would just run out.
The power would go out.
You gotta recharge it, right?
I don't know. I got one, and it's constantly telling me the batteries are low, but I have a key, so I don't worry about it.
Oh, so it works with the key?
Yeah, you still have a key that you could use, but Jillian doesn't have a key, so I mean, if it does, it sounds like something. Life Plus, is that the name of the new endeavor?
Oh yeah. On Succession.
Yeah, seems like something that all Life Plus houses would have.
How am I going to follow that? He offered them eternal life.
All right, we got to be careful. People will get mad.
Other things purchased on that Amazon banner that sits on AndersonandBryan.com include someone got themselves a Bush Business Furniture L-shaped desk, Samsung Galaxy Tab Active tablet. This is one of those rugged tablets you can bring and drop and shit and apparently won't affect it.
For construction workers.
That's right.
Too big pores.
2 Bosch rotary hammers were purchased. 4 wood pull-out tray. The trays that organize your utensils in the drawer. You know what I mean? Someone got 4 of those.
A lot of times they're made of bamboo.
That's right, or teak. That's right. As one who has bought a few of those, yes, you're 100% right.
Thank you, Bryan.
K-Max leather bar. I'm validating you. I'm giving you validation.
Appreciate that.
K-Max leather bar stools. Fractal design computer case was purchased. Someone got themselves. So, speaking of which, Semco teak finish sealant protector. Boise X9 multi-use print and copy paper was purchased. Once again, thank you for your recurring purchase, as well as whoever got the 20,000 shipping labels that seem to get purchased with regularity. We appreciate you.
What's going on? You all right?
What?
You got the nasal drone going.
I really do.
It sounds like you're doing a voice.
No, I got like a. You ever get like rice in your back of your in your nasal cavity?
Rice?
Like a little piece of rice. Like
listen to your voice.
No, I got the rice.
Like it goes like in like so you can.
I know.
Like if you sneeze, it'll come out your nose. Like when milk comes out your nose.
Well, no, I want it to go down my throat. Am I still doing it?
No, it's okay. No, I think you're
it's
better.
It's gonna come back.
You're sounding like the scientist on The Simpsons.
Professor Frink.
Yeah.
What you see here is a rocket mobile. Corsair Vengeance desktop memory.
It's back.
God damn it. Amazon Basic Care nicotine lozenges. $100 worth of Amazon e-gift card. Wise Wireless Video Doorbell Pro, Wise Outdoor Smart Security Camera, Nutrifoil, Men's Hair Growth Supplement, how dare you, fuck this word, Zoji Rushi, 5-cup, guess the coffee maker, sorry, Genuine Joe Green Soap Refill, Folgers Classic Roast Ground Coffee. How dare you? 2 JJC LED security lights. Omsun Tiki umbrella. 2 ring chimes. New Balance Fresh Foam Robe running shoes.
Do you need some water?
I might. Oh, this is terrible. Morale. Christy, how dare you make your ice?
Are you putting it on right there? Or is that really your voice right now? You weren't putting it on?
No. I wish.
Christy, how dare you? Okay, I'm sorry.
Merrill Moab Adventure Lace and 3 small rig cage camera adapter mounts.
Nice.
Man. I got there. A little bit of help.
You didn't get there.
All right.
Here are the movies that are click-throughs. This is the last time I talked at y'all. Somebody clicked through wisely and got the English subtitled Spoorloos, also known as The Vanishing. You can remove your microphone. You're literally bringing your microphone back to do that.
I feel better.
The
You
other
sound
way.
better?
The Vanishing was that click-through, as well as 13 going on 30.
Similar films.
Major League was click-through, as well as I Know Who Killed Me.
Tank was clicked through, as well as Swing Kids, The
All
Count of
right.
Monte Cristo,
Hilarious.
Romana and Bezos.
I'm
Romana.
suffering over here.
Romana and Bezos
Right.
was clicked through. Milk Money was clicked through, as well as Lahane. Hey, I didn't hear from whoever got Lahane. I can only hope that you loved it as much as I did.
It was me. I didn't like it.
12 Years of You haven't seen Hate?
I haven't seen Lane.
Get the fuck out of it. 12 Years a Slave was clicked through. I'm sure you saw that one, Brian, with bells on.
Fun.
Darling was clicked through, as well as Calvary. Fuck to the yes, the Calvary. Forgot to say fuck to the yes, with Lahane. Love Rosie was clicked through, as well as The Final Girls. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Miss Osborne. See what they did there? The Martian was clicked through, where he makes vegetables with his poop, Brian. How to Train Your
That's right.
Dragon, The Hidden World. That's all about young. Never mind. Die Hard was clicked through, as well as Crystal Swan, Pinball, The Man Who Saved the Game, Girl Picture, Linoleum, Return to Soul, The Hunger, Lair of the White Worm, White Worm, and Safe in Hell. Son of a bitch. I guess because I stumbled on the White Worm there.
So close.
I was very close. Return to Soul, very good movie. Saw
Okay.
that. I saw that in the old theaters.
Is that a music doc?
I
That's
think-
soul music?
No,
Oh,
no, it isn't.
I'm out.
All right, it's time to get back to. It's kind of like it's like Breakfast Club, but Korean style.
Wow.
But it's not, because
Is
that's
this
a
the Dim
different.
Sum
That's a
Club?
different movie. That's a different movie with soul in the title. Son of a bitch. Return to Soul is a new one that I heard somebody talking about recently. Son of a. All right, forget everything you just
Cut all
heard from
this
me for
out.
the last 10 seconds. What
I
was this?
typically do.
What was the one? Darn it! I saw it in the theater. It was
Breakfast
really good.
Club.
I'll find it. I'll find it. Back to the program.
This is a bad time to have vocal problems because I'm going to wax.
Oh no! What are you waxing
wax
about?
my number 2. I mentioned, what's up? You okay? Oh.
He's
I'm gonna go
leaving.
call my bank so I don't.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
do
still
do you have to?
financially solvent. They're emailing me now, so I feel like I might as well just call them.
Make sure that it's the real deal.
It is. I already.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck. Hope you get your life back. And not have be on the hook for for midriff bearing tops at 21 forever.
Soul Searching is the name of the movie. SEAOUL.
That feels like a bad pun.
SEOUL. I also missed that. Yes. Soul Searching. It is, but it's a good movie. It's the Korean version of Breakfast Club to an
Okay.
extent, and I liked it a lot.
All right. Number 2 for me. Anderson, you know my affection for, I guess you would say, for the Final Destination movies.
Yes, it is.
We have not seen. We saw 2 and 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've seen anything beyond that because my number 2,
Is that what we're going to watch this week? I mean, this month?
maybe.
It is a great scene when you're about to bring up.
Oh, The Final Destination?
Yeah.
Oh, you watched it on YouTube or whatever?
I did, and the version that I watched, because I was like, have I seen this one? And then I'm like, I realized I hadn't seen, but I was already in too deep, and I continued to watch. And I was also watching a version that was, it had some sound effects in it with a, that's gotta hurt every time someone got like impaled or anything.
I don't think that's actually from the film.
And it's not, but it added to my viewing experience.
Okay. The Final Destination from 2009, directed by David R. Elias. This takes place in a movie theater, and we open up on the
Criteria.
the storeroom of said movie theater, which is oddly just behind one of the screens, and even more oddly, full of explosive material. We'll get there in a second.
A lot of giant tanks I've never seen anywhere remotely close to a building, let alone inside a movie theater.
I would argue an irresponsible amount of explosive
They're
material.
the kinds of things you see, like they're propane tanks that are like designated for like large farms that are off the grid and they need their own heating sources.
Yeah.
That's what those
this
things
is
are.
Months of crude oil stored behind the screen.
I'm not even talking about, I'm talking about the tank that does the final
Oh, I see.
big.
Oh,
that,
yes.
That giant red flammable.
Yes.
It says flammable on it.
But,
And it's like it's in the hallway.
They're prepared to run off that tank for years.
And it's in a mall. Like you're not off the grid. You don't have septic tanks. You don't have water wells, and you definitely don't have
I'm
propane
so glad
tanks.
you saw this. So the scene begins. There's an open window, in which there's a gust of wind. It blows a tarp. The tarp has ringlets, so it actually accidentally catches the on switch for a fan.
Yes.
And the fan propels the cart upon which it sits. Also upon this cart is paint thinner with no cap.
They're just setting it up to be like a possible likely accident.
Yes.
Yeah.
As is done in these films.
Right.
And when the cart rolls over a couple of cables, well, wouldn't you know it, the paint thinner falls over.
It tumbles.
And it leaves a trail of paint thinner all throughout the storeroom.
In case you don't know, paint thinner very flammable, very
Extremely.
combustible. Yeah.
Well, such to the point that all it takes is a mere sunbeam coming through the window to ignite this paint thinner.
It was like Dracula himself was the paint thinner in liquid form.
That's right. And it ignites.
Combusts.
And we pull back to reveal the aforementioned just absurd number of 55-gallon drums, steel barrels that are...
What are they using it for?
well, they're helpfully labeled. Did you catch what the label said?
No, I did not see what they were labeled.
They're helpfully labeled spontaneously combustible.
But for what? For what?
I would argue that any amount of spontaneously combustible material is irresponsible in the workplace, let alone doesn't.
Stacked high. Like OSHA might have something to say, you'd think.
I wrote down OSHA. I'm like, this would not clear an OSHA inspection. No. Well, wouldn't you know it, the flaming paint thinner ignites the... and by the way, also... if it's spontaneously combustible, it doesn't need to be lit. It can just burst at any time.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that they're transporting in Sorcerer.
That's right.
But in TNT form, right?
So I'm no employment attorney, but it feels like this is a real liability.
Yeah, especially when you're in a small, like, building with
That's true.
spectators.
Yeah, packed in and tight.
Unassuming
quarters.
spectators who are very, very distracted by the very nature of the building, which is a movie theater, where they're supposed to be transported to a different place in their mind.
It's probably a bad sign the movie was Love Lays Dying.
Huh?
Love Lays Dying.
Oh, that was the name
No,
of
that
the
was the
movie.
name
Yeah,
of the film,
it should have been like a little
Should have been a tip-off.
harbinger, tip-off. I followed this whole scene. I watched it, and I have no business doing this.
It was
Especially,
kind of enjoyable.
let me tell you guys. My time is precious, right? I value my time, and I sacrifice sleep very often just to get because I'm setting up a dream world for me where I will work very hard, but I will be making films, continue to make films, and doing real estate, which I'm very close to having this be a reality, a daily reality where I'm working on both of those things. I have very
Houses are
little time.
like dreams.
I don't have time to be watching long scenes from movies I have not even seen. I began it because I'm like, this might be one of the ones that I saw. I don't remember a movie theater, but I watched these with Bryan, a few of them with Bryan. And then I'm like, no, I've not seen this, but I can't look away. And I watched it out where it continues
spills
outside
into the escalator.
Into the escalator. I watched that entire escalator scene as well. Brian. And yeah,
I'm glad you're having the same affection for these scenes that I am.
maybe we should watch this. This
It's a
month
fun
for-
movie.
Maybe
The opening scene is tremendous.
All right, perhaps we'll do that this month. It's your pick. You get to pick
True.
what we're going to watch with the listeners. The watch along, the Film Vault monthly watch along movie. Maybe will be, what is this, number 4?
I think it is the 4th.
Okay. All right.
But you have to rent it.
Oh, it's out.
I mean, it's only
Get her out. No,
$2.50.
we're not doing that to our audience.
$2.50.
They already are paying a premium to watch along with us. The least we can do is find a movie that works with everybody. Okay. All right. Why are we whispering? I have no idea. MSR. All right, number 2 for me. I obviously thought of this immediately. I was hoping that I wouldn't have it on the list. And it wasn't even on the list until I watched the scene again. And I'm like, you know what? This is just too good. Of all the movies out there, right? I think, you know those movies that like you see them, like it's late at night, you're about to go to bed, and you're about to, happens less now because of all the you don't really like, bounce around channels.
I haven't done that in years.
Something isn't like on halfway through. That just doesn't happen anymore. But of all the movies, and it happened at least twice to me, where I'm about to go to bed and then I see that Taxi Driver's on, and I just end up watching the rest of it because it's just so well made. All of the scenes are so well done. The performances, and when Travis Bickle takes Betsy out on his first date.
This is on my list of top 5 bad dates.
It was on my list as well. Another reason why I almost kicked it off. But after watching this scene, and they're in the theater, and the theater, and it's all surrounding the theater, outside of the theater on their way in.
It's a foreign film.
And then when it's just heartbreaking. It really is heartbreaking. It was so uncomfortable the first time that I saw it because I was way too young to be watching a movie like that, and anything to do with sex was uncomfortable. But it was also just uncomfortable because he's taking her to a smutty movie, a dirty movie on his first date, right? And she's not the type of girl that would respond well to that.
No, she's a high society lady.
15-year-old Anderson realized that. But in rewatching it, and I've probably seen it, I don't know, 2 dozen times now, right? It's heartbreaking.
Right.
He is so confused, like legitimately confused and unaware
Why isn't this
of how
working out?
inappropriate it is. Yeah. But there's lots of movies. I could take you somewhere else. Yeah, it's just so fucking sad. Until, he gets a little bit handsy with her. Oh, wait a minute, I'm talking. He's grabbing her elbow. But that's what you did to talk to the broads back then.
That's right.
That's
Yeah,
what they were
talk some
taught.
sense into him.
And she doesn't want his little record that he gave her because she obviously Travis, she loves that song. She loves that artist. She obviously has it. Mm-hmm. You don't buy her something that she
already
loves.
Already loves, yeah.
Yeah, if she loves it, it's like
you buy her something she thinks she'll love.
He's just so out of his league. He's just so
he's in over his head.
Way in over his head, yeah. But he's still believing that there's a possibility. And then
Sybil Shepherd looking at Fox.
Oh my God, she's so another one that almost made the list was another Sybil Shepherd and another Peter Bogdanovich, which is Last Picture Show. Yeah. And then like she takes the record after telling him I don't want it, I already have it, and then the cab drives her away, and then just smash cut to him leaving her a message. Well, he walks down the street a little bit, but then he's like the next day he's just on the phone, just calling her over and over again. But yeah, that movie. And it was interesting too how Scorsese, 1976 when the movie came out, couldn't get an X rating, right? He could have just gone all like reactions, which I think would have worked, where he just hung on Sybil Shepherd and Robert De Niro, and how that was going, which would have been interesting too, with him not being affected and her being all uncomfortable. And he got a little bit of both because he also was able to show the screen, which.
But wasn't it like over the shoulder? It wasn't as though he was focusing.
No, we saw the actual screen, and it was scientific until it wasn't. It was like orgy shots as well.
Oh.
But it was nothing explicit, right? It was just like writhing naked bodies. And then like an egg was with sperm trying to access it. It was like scientific at points. And it was interesting how he showed. Nowadays, it would be, completely over the top with what they were watching. You'd have people beating off all around them. And then the other audience members getting like angry when they were getting out of the theater because they were interrupting, disturbing the film.
Number 1 for me, one of my versions of what you just talked about, a movie that if I catch it halfway through, I'm compelled to watch to the end. I love it so much. Talk about Fight Club.
Ooh,
1999's Fight Club. It's a very brief scene. It's early in the film, and so we learn about Tyler Durden, what he does for a living. Turns out Tyler has a number of jobs.
puts his dicks and drinks.
He does that, but this is
his dick.
He does work as a caterer at the fancy hotel in town. However,
You're still having a problem over there, aren't you?
one of his night one of his night jobs is self-admittedly a shitty job. It's working as a projectionist at a movie theater.
He splices.
And the only thing that keeps him engaged in his job is doing the old school cutting and splicing of the aforementioned porno film scenes, clips, stills from porno films into porns.
Suffice, yeah.
I think it says porno, but anyway, he puts them into family films,
Right.
and thus dupes the audience.
Yes.
Unsuspecting.
They're not sure what they saw.
It creates a
Comic relief.
subliminally traumatic effect with the kids watching
Children seeing the dicks, yeah.
ostensibly kids movies.
Back when I was a little more edgelordy, a lot more edgelordy, I always thought that would be an amazing photograph of like a kids movie, and you have like some really like high-end cameras facing the audience, and maybe just behind the screen. You know, they're obscured from the audience doesn't know that it's candid, and you flash something like really horrific, either sexually. Or, this is long before I had children, and I didn't go to any. I didn't take this idea to the next level and try to figure out how to actually make this happen. But it would be an amazing picture. Would it not be an amazing picture to see them all reacting to something that they should not be seeing simultaneously? And that's kind of what Durden was doing over there. You know what's interesting, Brian, is it was originally everyone referred to it as pornography. This film is obviously pornography. And then it became a little bit more readily available, and people were more accepting of it and watching it, and not as it wasn't as taboo, and they started calling it porno.
Oh,
porno. What do they call it now? Like, no one has time for the two syllables. No one can say porno, right?
Let's ask Avery.
It's just porn. Everything's just porn. You got time only enough for one syllable,
if that.
Let alone the pornography. I mean, who has time for that? Right? Am I right?
Takes too long.
Takes way too long.
Avery, speaking of taking too long, is your card secure?
Card is secure. Has been canceled, being sent as we speak.
Is that all right?
Nice. Gonna have to use a card in your wallet and on your phone from now for the next few days, right?
No Forever 21 for the criminal.
You have to buy crypto. How do they get tipped off? They didn't.
Sorry, Susie.
I don't know. You mean how did Wells Fargo get tipped off? Or how
you're with
criminal
Wells Fargo?
Yeah,
That's all
I know.
What's the matter with
I had
you?
it coming.
Come on, guys. I know it's a pain in the ass to switch, and I know they're all crooks, but Wells Fargo by far takes the cake, right?
I never met them.
You never,
I think Bank of America really fucks in terms of what they give you. I think they are technically the worst. Wells Fargo is probably second worst.
Well, Wells Fargo's the one that was like openly stealing from everyone, and they got caught, and then they trickled down and just fired all the people that they mandated do it.
Yeah.
And there tons of people were getting fired, and like they're on the news saying, I was just taking orders from the top, and I knew it was kind of wrong, but I didn't want to lose my job, and now I'm fired for, fucking
corporate America.
But they saved me $69 with the fraud.
Oh, nice.
Well, no, it would have been on them anyways. They saved themselves. You could have just said, hey, it's not mine, and then you have to wait a little while. They do an investigation. The worst part is they don't even get after these people. You know that?
Yeah, I mean, presumably it's being sent somewhere.
And they got pictures and they got photos of these people. Oh, is it online?
I think so, yeah.
All right, sorry for that detour. Here we go. On my number one, I need some assistance too.
Yes, just in time.
That's right.
My number one is from a movie that I would appreciate it more now. What year is this? 2000. So it's been 23 years since I saw a scary movie. And
you have a scary movie scene on?
I do. And I saw a scary movie in the theater. I saw it with some friends, and
I remember great movie.
Being unimpressed with it at the time, but maybe that was just my attitude. Maybe I would appreciate it more. I barely remembered this scene. I came across a couple of lists.
This is another line that I quote without thinking about it. You on camera. You on camera now.
How is this not on your list? It's such a great movie.
I thought you gave me shit for it.
It is such a great movie scene.
It's a great movie.
And so many of the things that she's doing, I've experienced firsthand in movie theaters. All the years I've been going to see movies, I've heard not all in a row, and I've never seen anyone with a camera openly just shooting the movie like she is. But it's a scene with a very obnoxious girlfriend. Marlon Wayans gets up to go to the bathroom and finds a glory hole unexplicably. There's just too many dumb little things like that for me to continue to.
How's that dumb?
Yeah, and then the dick goes all the way through his head and out his other ear.
He dies.
Did he die? No, he comes back. Oh yeah, maybe he died.
Pretty sure
It's been a long time. I came across a couple lists that had like 150 scenes that take place in movie theaters and movies, and this was one of them. And I'm like, I'm glad that I went down because I always have YouTube open and I'm clicking, and I'm glad that I watched this and I watched it a few times.
It's your number one.
It's my number one, Brian.
Damn.
Let's listen to a little bit of it. I'll tell you where to get out. I thought I was gonna be playing this myself, but
You on candid camera now.
I got that. Wait, let's pause. Let's pause it real quick. So yeah, here's the scene. So Marlon Wayans, he's out of the theater, and his girlfriend. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I should have fucking had her name, guys. Son of a bitch.
Regina Hall.
Thank you.
Hall.
Oh, it is Regina. Is that Regina?
That's
young
what
Regina
Holy
Hall.
YouTube
shit,
says.
she is like unrecognizable. Oh fuck, that's Regina. She's so good. It's like 23 years ago. I love that Regina. So she's being very, very obnoxious, and she's upsetting all of the uptight white patrons around her. And she's doing versions of almost everything that I've seen somebody do at one time or another in all my years going to movie theaters. And she's just doing it all the time. And it's very funny. So here we go. And she's watching Shakespeare in Love.
Hurry up now, don't be long. Back up, let him through. You can move back some, you don't own the theater.
Oh wait, no. It was
No, this
I
is-
gave you the one that
Oh, did
starts.
you give me the?
I
'cause
should.
I don't think so. You just gave me the.
Oh, son of a bitch! I can't handle my clips. Yeah.
Can't handle the
Look
clips.
at you.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's not. It should be.
Where should
at
it
a
start?
I think it's that clip, but after
Oh, when he
that-
comes back.
No,
He does
like
come
I the way. Go to like 130.
130, that's where I was at.
130. Yeah, there we go. Here she is.
Don't go in there. Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scary shit. Oh, I am scared. Oh.
Excuse me?
I think I paid my money like everybody else up in here.
Urban.
That ain't no man. You can see her real hair right there.
Mind?
I know you better get out of my face. Out of my face. Out of my face. This is all me up in here. You handle that.
Will you shut the fuck up?
This movie is
That was
good.
you.
Hey, baby. You came back just in time.
Just to kill her.
She's about to get it on with Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
You found out she's a girl. Yeah, I got you. I
She's
got
holding
you
a
on camera.
camcorder.
You on candid camera now. You ain't know that.
Her phone rings.
Hello? Hey, girl. I'm in the movie. Shakespeare in Love. Oh,
All right,
you
that'll
lying.
do. That'll do. It's just it's a medley of all the things. Short of that, I've never seen anyone with a camcorder out. I'm sure I've been in the presence of people shooting on their phones nowadays, but I've never seen anyone pull the Brody thing.
I saw someone filming on their phone with the flash on.
Oh my god,
Oh,
people are
dear.
dumb. People are just so fucking dumb.
I had to lean over and go, "Can you not do that?"
They don't do it.
It was during the shitty Tupac movie that came out.
That was a bad movie. It actually good performance.
Which shitty Tupac movie?
The one that came out
All
probably
Eyes
what?
on Me or
Yeah,
something?
like what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, it was a bad movie, but he was actually pretty good.
Oh, and she
that
answered
version
phone
probably.
calls.
It
Oh,
probably
I've confessed that.
Christ.
that version that the person was shooting with the flash on probably exists somewhere online right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can probably watch that with the flash on. Regina Hall crushing it. That was fantastic.
So enjoyable.
It's my favorite scene in of any the most. I can't believe you don't have Shawshank on your list. I'm shocked.
No, too obvious.
It's very obvious, but it's very heartfelt and good, and kind of
Great
like
scene.
reminds you of what makes movies great.
That's right. Even in the face of all that bleakness, they can still enjoy.
And together, and together,
Yeah.
and together. Brian, don't do that. You painted yourself into a corner now. You painted yourself.
That's right. I did.
All right, here we go. Listener list, and then I got some solid also rans that I would like to run down. I don't know about you, Bri.
Oh, solid.
Solid.
Listener list compiled by the fucker Mitch Burns. Number 5, there's a 3-way tie. Scream 2, Last Action Hero, and Bachelor Party.
All right.
Bachelor Party.
I don't know. 4-way tie with 4 points each. Gremlins 2, Donnie Darko, Taxi Driver, and An American Werewolf in London.
Just missed my list. Gremlins 2 is Gremlins 1.
Number 3 is Gremlins 1.
Oh, it's
Number 3
the-
for the listeners
they
is
go back.
Gremlins.
I haven't seen Gremlins
1.
2 in quite some time.
Number 2, Cape Fear. And number 1, of course, is Inglourious Basterds.
There you go.
I also thought of, while we were doing this episode, Twister, when the tornado sucks up the drive-in. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah, that would be
good.
inspired.
Pretty good.
Honestly, that did not come up in my research. I like that.
It's
That's
pretty
a good one.
enjoyable.
Bri,
Yes.
also Rans.
Ones that were not mentioned: Blazing Saddles, The Fighter, Hardcore, which I actually never saw, so I wouldn't put it on the list.
Oh,
but
the
famous.
George C. Scott.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
I have not seen Hardcore. I need to see that.
Okay,
Paul
there you
Schrader.
go. Shawshank, yes. 12 Monkeys, Donnie Darko,
Donnie Darko?
Clockwork. I'm shocked it's on your list.
Locker. It's too obvious.
Cape Fear, Just Friends, Babylon, and Last Action Hero.
I need some sort of Rice listener art.
Oh, come on.
I need something.
I'm suffering over here.
I need something.
What is, you got a rice grain stuck in your throat and it makes you.
No, it's not my throat. It's like, where your throat and like your nasal cavity connects.
Yeah.
Like up
Well, your
there.
nasal cavity's not back here, Brian. It's
Well,
like
then what do you where
it's
the,
at
where it
the
all,
roof of your
where it
mouth.
all connects. Right past my uvula.
You're talking something different, Brian. We're not on the same page. Midnight Cowboy is the only one that's not hasn't been mentioned unless someone didn't say Donnie Darko, but I'm pretty sure we heard Donnie Darko. And then Dolomite is my name. I cannot find this clip. I know it exists,
Oh, when he comes
I saw
out of the front page.
but yeah, they're.
Oh, yes.
What is it when they're walking out of the front
They were-
page? Or are they
they were-
actually in there? But like
think
he's
they
just
walked out.
astonished that was a popular movie.
There were no
He's like,
titties
this is what
or
white
nothing.
people are watching?
Yeah, but I couldn't find the scene and I guess I think perhaps that was on the side, like out front of the marquee.
Yeah, they were
right?
leaving in disgust.
They didn't actually shoot inside the. There are some inside this movie theater scenes in Dolomite is my name, but not that. Okay,
Okay.
so remove it, and then Super 8. Don't they like get after the actual the climax of the movie? I think takes place in the movie theater. Super 8, if you recall the creature feature that is.
Oh,
Super 8.
maybe, yeah. Oh, I've forgotten all about that.
Okay. And yeah, that was American Werewolf in London. Just missed it because Gremlins was just a little more enjoyable.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's gamble and wrap her up.
Last week, we gambled on Big George Foreman.
That was really good.
Anderson guessed 77. Bryan 67. With 38 reviews, the actual Rotten
Only
Tomatoes
38?
score, nobody saw this,
That's weird.
is 45%.
Oh, nice. Because wasn't it high a lot when we...
I believe so, yes.
Oh, sweet.
How does it have such little PR? That's
I
shocking.
don't know.
It is kind of shocking. 38 reviews.
38 reviews.
yeah.
Somebody's not doing
Spurlos
it.
has more than that.
Oh, I bet it does. Why don't you just you don't know?
I'm
know?
on the side right now.
Look at your phone. Isn't that the just you open it up with your face
Yeah,
and like it's
it's
just
right there.
Rotten Tomatoes?
Because, well, The Vanishing is 50.
You gotta go spoor loose. Spoor loose. So much fun to say, dude. Spoor loose. Spoor loose. All right, I'm doing spoor loose. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out.
Well, we got to gamble.
Oh, it's spoor loose.
This week, we are gambling on the first blockbuster of the season.
Is it?
Guardians of the Galaxy
Oh,
Volume
yeah,
3.
yeah.
Guardies. Giddies.
Hmm.
Gritties. Spoor loose. All right, I have my number. I have my number.
What's going on with Swole Groot?
Yeah, he is kind of swollen.
Yeah.
I think that was probably in his contract. Like, at some point, my character can not only say Groot, he must be swole.
It is Vin Diesel, so probably.
That's what I'm saying.
It would not surprise me.
Yes.
I have to be the swollest character on screen.
All right. I'm ready.
All right, on 3.
Yes, please.
1, 2, 71.
90.
Look
Oh.
at you.
Gee, I went high. This is the conclusion, right, of the trilogy?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Oh, they're good at gun.
Oh, I saw that recently, too. It was good, too.
trilogy?
Guardians 2. I
Oh,
enjoyed that.
fun
Kurt
movie.
Russell. Fun
They're good.
times.
The critics are going to go nuts for this.
Current score with 124 reviews. The current Rotten Tomatoes score is 78%.
Well, like right in the middle.
Yeah.
You're closer.
What do you
About
I just-
5 points.
I've been noticing like good action movies, and I do think that Ant-Man quadrupled me for my money and for what I saw. I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable action blockbuster movie. The
Quantumania.
Quantumania.
I like Quantophobia.
That's
I
right.
think that's the name of a band. Or
That's what I have.
And I've noticed that it got wrecked by the critics, and it's like I think they're just getting tired. They're
Yeah, you
getting
might
tired.
be right.
All right.
Yeah, shit. I'm way too high.
I don't know. We'll see.
It's not
I
good
hope
enough.
it's good because I've seen it Sunday night.
I'm seeing
All
it
2.5
Friday-
hours.
Friday morning.
You know what I'd rather be watching?
Sisu.
The first act of Bo being terrified.
There's nothing stopping you.
Now, in fact, that was last episode. But if in case you're listening to this full, fat, like long episode, or you remember me talking about Bo's Afraid and recommending it, I went in there having no idea there was going to be anything funny. I was prepared for another Ari Aster, like long, slow burn,
Bleak.
And it was bleak as fuck, but like in your face bleak with the satire that is like, what if all news was real angle. It was very funny, but that came from a place where I had no idea there was going to be a shred of comedy.
Okay. Fair.
Should have said that earlier.
Look at the.
Before people run out. Sporloose. The score is in. 98%. Actually, Bryan said 96% now that I remember. When you were reviewing Sporloose.
No, I think, did I?
Maybe they
you
included
said-
the film vault.
You said 96, and I said, who would give this a bad review? And you're like, it seems like a weird movie to give a bad review to.
What's the actual score?
98, it says.
Oh. Well, I was reading off Wikipedia, so maybe it's out of date.
That's like saying...
That's why Brian's occasionally wrong when he cheats. 'Cause he's going off Wikipedia.
This could be right. That's like, but you know what that's like, Bri?
What's that?
That's like you saying, and then on the, whatever it was, Jesus had a basket filled with crawfish. Because it's like just a little bit off.
Right.
You know what I mean? When it was fish and bread.
Right. It's like the Rescue Rangers Chip and Dale movie, like the cheap knockoffs.
Yeah.
It's almost there.
But it's because that's not like you to get something wrong, especially because it's so
I know.
close and dear to you.
Personal to me.
And at the altar.
And at the
Apologies,
altar. That's why I made the
I'm-
Jesus, not the Chip and Dale reference. I feel like it was lost on Bryan.
I'm digesting this listener art from Jonathan Oxford, which is fantastic. It's a 3-act structure.
Where is this?
It's a full comic.
Yeah, there's a narrative going on here.
Where am I? Oh yeah. Oh, this is yeah. He sent this directly to me too. This is how
Enjoyable.
I would like John Wick more if it was
It was this.
if it was this. Yes.
Very enjoyable. Thanks, Jonathan, and great as always. Thank you to the Smug Saints. You're hearing them right now. Don't they sound great? There they are.
I do.
Check them out at andersonandbryan.com if you want links to all their stuff. Lots of good stuff over at our Patreon. We just did a spoiler episode, 5 minutes, for
Sisu.
Sisu.
Got
Check
the name
that
right
out.
and everything.
That's right, finally. So check that out, patreon.com/thefilmvault.
Bryan, you gotta go gargle.
I really do. I'm having trouble here.
You need one of those like neti pots or something.
We got one of it. Oh.
Oh my God, I need a neti pot real bad. Pronto.
Blah, blah, blah. Thanks for tapping that Amazon banner. We appreciate you at AndersonandBryan.com. Anderson and Bryan is the Instagram. Anderson and Bryan is the TikTok. The Film Vault Twitter. The Film Vault Facebook. The Film Vault YouTube. No, the Film Vault podcast on YouTube. Thanks to all of our Patreon listeners. We appreciate you. Also appreciate Giovanni, Mitch Burns, Mike Cole, and Eric Kath for helping out with the show, doing the necessary stuff to keep the show going. Avery's got a gig.
Yes, tonight as
Tonight
you're
is-
hearing
yeah,
this.
that's right.
Comedy Confessional. You can get the tickets in my bio on Instagram at Avery Comedy. It's 7:30 are the doors. 8 is when the actual show starts. It is in Santa Monica at the Crow, and it should be fun. We collect anonymous confessions from the audience, and the comedians riff on them on stage. A lot of fun.
Come
Very
on
fun.
down. Is it
Come on.
BYOB or?
So they are in the process of getting their liquor license. If you want to get liquored up, go to Birdie G's, which is right across the street. Tell
Oh,
them you got a
Birdie
ticket,
G's.
and you get 10% off your bill.
Yeah, I'm glad I brought that up.
Very nice. Check out loadedforbeardoc.com.
Thank you, Bryan.
No
Yes.
problem.
As we record this, we're getting very, very close to me being able to actually kick it off and start some actual production.
All right.
So it's all 501c3
The
too.
fucker, Danny.
What did I do? Oh, that's right. That's the fucker's name.
That's the fucking guy's name. I'm such the worst. I meant nothing by it either. I thought it was just,
I know. If he knew you, he'd be like, oh, it's just Anderson.
Yeah, and the guy he was already going back and forth with Jeffrey, and he's like gave his phone number, and he's like, let's talk about this. And then that's when I chime in. So this is the fucker's name?
And then Jeffrey's,
Radio silence.
He's thrown under the bus.
Yeah. Just the amount of. And Jillian's like, what's wrong? And I told her, and she's like, I don't know how you're breathing right now. Like, I would just die if that happened to me. I'm like, I have a lot of experience with this kind of thing.
So enjoyable. All right, until next time.
So yeah, loadedforbeardoc.com. We need all the help you can. And it should be tax deductible. If I didn't mention that, sorry. I just feel like I should have said that. And until next time, we do it for Van Gogh.
It's just a day, it's just mine.